Hello everyone, I want to tell you about a friend to the Sorta My Comics page and subject to change entertainment, and that is Rosie's Soap Company. They've got a ton of great, creative, handcrafted ideas, soaps, and the like, and some brand new ones to make bath time a little more marvelous, like this month's Avengers Shower Bombs. There's more than enough reasons to check them out, but we thought we'd give you one more. Not only do they flex their mind muscles for creative ideas, but they also use that power for good by donating to various charities each month. This month, 10% of their total sales for themed products will go to Girls Who Code and GoFundMe campaigns for Black-owned comic shops affected by COVID-19. Guys, they sent me and Boba Fett a sample package, and while I can't speak for Bob, I can say on my own behalf that these things smell wonderful. While I haven't gotten a chance to use them yet, I am excited to switch from body gels to these handcrafted soaps. They look great, they smell great. If you want to get your hands on some of these awesome, again, handcrafted, themed soaps like Mr. J, When Life Gives You, or my favorite one that I found on the site, I'm Ron Burgundy? Just go to Rosie Soap Company on Facebook or visit www.rosiessoaps.com. Again, that's Rosie Soap Company on Facebook or www.rosiessoaps.com. Hello everyone and welcome to Sorta My Podcast. My name is Vincent Herman, Vin The Human, and joining us on today's episode is
Bob Collins, Boba Fett.
And somewhere on the cube,
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
Dr. Tina will not be joining us for this one, but it will be a semi-normal episode, if you could call these COVID times that. We're just
the new normal.
The new normal. Definitely more normal than me driving around in my truck trying to get to each other's houses and make us record a podcast. But I don't blame me for that.
I blame all of us.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, we've got a variety of topics. And, like we promised when we first started this, it's going to be a little more freeform. First thing I kind of want to talk about is that Halloween Kills teaser. I know Bob saw that just before this. Odle, you never confirmed whether you saw that or not.
I have not.
Well, you're awful.
You are. Well, coming from somebody that really enjoyed the reboot / new sequel / whatever we're calling these, like Terminator did it. I mean,
I like to call them
kind of reboot sequels, like the sequels.
Alternative universe continuations is what I'm considering them.
Yeah, and they don't, and those types of movies do not bother me whatsoever because we are all fandom of this is like we are all used to multiple universes, but I've really enjoyed it. And it was like it was a really good like homage to the first movie, the original, and made it like I want to see where this timeline goes because we saw where the other one went. It got kind of a little crazy, like all horror franchises do. So, but yeah, it was only like a 33-second teaser.
Yeah,
but it was enough to get you excited again.
It was so intriguing, yeah, because like it picks up immediately. And spoilers if you have not seen the new Halloween from
2018.
2018, yes. It picks up immediately afterwards. It seems they're in some sort of like, I don't even know if you see these like hay trucks anymore, but
yeah, like where are you finding these?
They're in the back of this hay truck, and the cabin is burning off into the woods, and they are screaming, "No, let it burn!" because the fucking fire department's heading towards the blaze. So therein lies our first taste of, like, this is why it continues, and it's not some, like, bullshit excuse.
Yeah, because I'm spoiling it. It's been fucking 2 years, but
Oh yeah,
um,
I didn't even.
he
I
was locked in
spoiler
the.
warning. I spoiler
Yeah,
warned, and I didn't even spoil anything.
I didn't even hear you spoiler warning it, but here it is. Like he got locked in the basement at the end with the cabin catching on fire, and this is after fucking the usual getting the shit beat out of him while he's doing his thing.
Yeah,
Uh, so like yeah, he was left for dead. But you never just leave him. You gotta like decapitate those
yeah.
motherfuckers
You
or
gotta
something.
confirm. You gotta
Yeah, and
confirm.
and that never even works. There's some kind of curse or fucking.
Well, now that was when it was the 80s
Yeah,
and the
I know.
90s.
I know.
Now we expect a little more pomp and circumstance from our horror films.
I know, man. That was a reference. Jesus, you don't have to explain it.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did I miss a reference? I did not get the
Yeah,
reference.
yeah. Well, I don't remember which Halloween it is, but like he was like part of like this cult and shit. Like it's
Oh, what?
yeah. I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure that's
think
the
I've
one
seen
with Paul Rudd in it.
I don't think I've seen past 5. I know I definitely never saw like
I think it's
H2O
6.
or
Oh,
yeah,
H2O is actually a good one. It was a decent one.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we're on the subject, real quick, and then we can move on. But speaking of Halloween movies, what's your feelings on the zombie Halloween?
Zombie Halloween.
Rob
What?
Zombie.
Oh, the remakes. What,
Yeah,
2008, I want to say?
give or take. Yeah, I remember I was in
Yeah.
college in 2008. Yeah, so it was probably
Yeah.
2008, 2007.
Uh, I really liked the first one. I love giving Michael that background. It really kind of helps you understand like how he
Hmm.
becomes this like emotionally deadened monster. I
Yeah,
know a lot of people hate that shit and they just want to get right into the slasher, but I'm not. I'm not like a horror head. I appreciate fucking some stories, some actual like motivations for our characters, even the fucking murderous rampaging dude. Uh, so I loved that first one. The second one, I've
the
only seen it
second one. Yeah,
once. It was weird.
yeah.
Like I need to
Even
see it again. But
because a lot of Halloween fans are not fans of the zombie Halloween franchise, like Brittany included. I enjoy them, like
I'm
to
trying
an
to remember
extent.
if I've seen the zombie Halloween one. I feel like I have.
You,
it's the one with the little boy goes trick or treating and he's wearing like the clown costume or whatever, and then he comes home and like murders his dad, his stepdad or whoever the fuck it was in the chair. He ties him up with like the duct tape and like stabs him in the neck a bunch of times.
yeah, it's like legitly is the trailer trash origin of Michael Myers.
Yeah, yeah, and
Like
I love.
it's a new revisioning of it, like like the Rob Zombie version.
It gives it gives the trope of like a lot of serial killers started off killing small animals, and it gives you that taste of Michael Myers, and then it gives
Yeah,
him this really shitty home life and these like really shitty people, and it gives you an understanding of like, okay, this is how he started his career of killing, by actually killing people who were fucking dirtbags and stuff, and then he gets a taste for it and he loses touch with his mother. It's a really good fucking like build to the character of Michael Myers.
I did not realize that in this episode of Sort of My Podcast that you would be giving rave reviews about 2007 or 2008. We're not sure. Rob Zombie's Halloween, but hey, I'll accept it.
Here we are. This is why we're throwing the structure out the fucking window
Yeah,
because it could be anything.
it just feels like a Sort of My Podcast mix with us, Suds and Buds, also on the Subject to Change Entertainment.
There you
So,
go.
guys, check that out.
Um, moving on to something though. Speaking of structure, let me bring some back in. I threw it out the window. I had to go out and grab it.
Yep.
Another thing, now I do know all of us saw this. On Twitter, a poster for Wonder Woman 84 revealed the look of
Yes.
post-transformation Cheetah. and holy shit, it's everything we wanted. And they teased us for so long.
It is exactly what I was like legitly hoping for. Like I was literally hoping for that look. I was like, I don't want like an homage to it. Like, no, just get weird. Like, get fucking weird. That's what they need to understand. Like, just get weird. Like,
turn that
we can
jewel
accept it. Yes.
into a fucking cheetah. Turn her into a cheetah.
That's what I want.
I'm all for it.
Give us talking sharks.
Hey,
Give us
Odle?
talking gorillas. Give us fucking cheetah women. Like, we can accept it.
Oh my
it's
god.
2020, goddammit. Nothing surprises us.
Absolutely want to see Themyscira.
In this day and age, they're gonna fucking love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, okay.
It's actually a good alternative to what's going on.
I was going to say, I absolutely want to see Gorilla City take on Themyscira, but let's switch gears here. Did anyone feel somewhat attracted to Cheetah in this? I thought she was kind of hot.
I think you might be into furries, bro.
Not full on, because... but whatever's going on there.
I don't know. I think you're just into furries.
I guess
but,
so.
No, I mean, there's everything that men find attractive in a female about that. Like there's a good body stature, there's curves and all that. It just so happens that she's also half wild animal.
Yeah. See, no, like the furry thing, that's with like the heads and the fucking like bodysuits and the big crazy. I'm talking about a humanoid cheetah woman.
Your argument is not getting any better.
No, it isn't. It really is. Well, I mean, it's like, what's the difference between? Well, I mean, there's some differences, but like when you see a Twi'lek, from Star Wars, and you're like, fuck, yeah, I would absolutely go there. I mean, I'm lumping this into the same camp.
Listen, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying you're not making yourself look good.
You're just handing me the shovel and letting me dig as far as I want.
No, I'm just watching you dig, wondering why you're digging.
I don't know. I guess
we're not even supposed to be digging here. Why are we digging? We don't work at this cemetery, Vincent.
I heard there was some good stuff buried here, and I want to find out. Okay.
Treasure hunting. I'm just treasure hunting.
So we've gotten rave reviews for the Rob Zombie Halloween Anatomy and a weird sexual awakening. So
yeah, we're making progress. This is a good episode.
This is a damn good episode so far.
See, you can find out about all this stuff on a million other podcasts and YouTube channels and everything, but you come to us for this kind of content.
For the Is Cheetah Hot commentary.
Is Cheetah hot? How great was Rob Zombie's Halloween? Yes or no? And how squeaky is Boba Fett's chair?
In fact, I'd like to hear from the chair on this. Chair, what do you think? Oh, so now you're quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, so now you're quiet. Typical fucking chair. You know, we invited him into the space. We give him okay. All right.
Chair silence is chair violence. Remember that.
Right. All right. Hashtag that.
Because all right. I think we should move on to another nerd-related topic since we're a nerd-related podcast.
Well, here's a nerd.
What the fuck? When did that happen?
Well, honestly, I guess what's nerdier than raving about an old movie, being attracted to some weird like animal human hybrid, and talking about like shitty computer chairs.
Sounds very nerdy to me. I mean, it's all CBR is talking about.
Yeah.
So, moving on from that. Let's tackle kind of a big subject. We're gonna get a little fucking serious here. I said this before the thing, but nobody really reacted to it. J.K. Rowling. You guys want to talk about that?
I didn't.
You didn't catch that when I said
about
that.
What?
Well, I think there's an interesting conversation here about separating art from the artist. Because if you're aware, J.K. Rowling has taken and stood by and cemented and then stood on top of that, built another statue to it, poured a few more layers of cement over that, did another statue, and then stood by that on being against trans people.
And then posted it on her Instagram. Just
insisting that the world of Harry Potter is reflective of her own beliefs.
Wait, she's fisting what?
She's fisting you.
Harry Potter. She's fisting Harry Potter.
She's been doing that for years.
Right? So
why do I feel like, hold on, let's put a pause real quick. Why do I feel like Odle's always like playing a game on the other monitor?
Because he absolutely is. Because he's 100% texting other people. In fact, I would appreciate it more, Odle, if you would at least get those other people's opinions on some of these subjects and then relay them to us. Like, I mean, shit, at least that would be participation.
So John says we all suck.
Well, so we knew that. That's not exactly breaking news. Anyways.
Well, what I was asking about fucking J.K. Rowling or whatever her name is
that's, you got it right.
Is there something new? Because like I heard about all that.
I felt like there was a good conversation about separating the artist from the art situation, because J.K. Rowling is kind of a gray area here, whereas over the past few years she has deeply ingrained herself into like the DNA of Harry Potter, especially with her like Twitter reveals of certain story elements and stuff, whereas like a George Lucas
did create all of that, so I would hope she's embedded in the DNA of it.
Well, no, I mean, things like, okay, as I was about to say, George Lucas, these days I don't necessarily lump him in with Star Wars as its canon is now. He created it, he made the first 3 movies, a little distendedly on that third one, and I guess he made the prequels too, a little distended on the second too, but...
This is kind of the way I look at it, and I'm going to go actually like give you a lot of actual examples and like give you my opinion on this. But like if there's any stoners out there listening, this is like a guy just grew some really good weed, rolled you up a really good fucking fat blunt, passed it to you, and just let you and your friends keep it. But that guy is, I don't know, a fucking shithead.
He's a skinhead.
You enjoy the thing that he creates. You know what I mean? That's fine. But the hell with that person. All right, my opinion on this, my stance on this, is that for the most part, I can separate the person from the things that they created. Here's a few examples. Like, who here likes Alan Moore?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Killing Joke, Watchmen. I mean, to name like the 2 most I would say probably most well known.
Right.
But like the list is fucking huge.
I mean, you got
like some huge cornerstones. Yeah. He's not a great guy though. Like
like I've seen some interviews and like some of the things he's come out and said. Like, okay, as far as Alan Moore goes, there's kind of 2 sides that I've seen on that, and part of it, he was kind of done dirty. But
no. See, like, I'm not talking about that.
Or are you just talking about him as a human being?
As a human being, yes.
Okay, yeah. So, but see, there again, at the same time, like not knowing all of the details,
kind of racist. So there's really no excuse.
He's really
So
no really at the same
I
time.
didn't really see anything about. So,
dude, it's kind of
I don't know
embedded
how I have
in some of his like lesser known shit, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, he's just a little.
But he looks like a
sketchy.
wizard.
He does. I mean, and then there's people like Kevin Spacey.
Right. Like, I can never watch American Beauty again. I will sing the praises of that being a fantastically built movie, but the correlations between who Kevin Spacey is and the actual subject material of that movie.
Now,
close.
what about whenever he plays somebody really shitty? Are you cool with that? Have you watched like Baby Driver?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Or Lex Luthor. Like anytime he played a bad guy.
Now that's different. I can separate
because
him
I feel like
and Lex Luthor. Yeah.
I can't watch him being like glorified as like a good guy and things. Like,
see,
there's this weird.
That's kind of my issue because he portrayed Bobby Darin, and I think the movie was Fly Me to the Moon. And it was basically a biopic about Bobby Darin. He portrayed him one of like an old Rat Pack style singer. And the man has a phenomenal voice, but goddamn is there a shitty person behind it.
I mean, there's some geniuses. There's incredible musicians. There's people that like in certain fields are like, great at it, but sometimes they're just shitty people.
A great example is something we talked about on this podcast a lot. Allison Mack, recruiter and abductor of women.
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about it.
We talked about that.
Once or twice.
I feel like we just kind of skimmed over that, Vinny.
But somehow I can still vibe with Chloe Sullivan. Like the parallels are too opposite, and I don't see Chloe Sullivan as someone who is secretly recruiting people. Or another one. Here's one that actually gives me trouble. I know
which one it is. This one is
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan gives me absolute
still
trouble.
Not that one. There's twice I thought you were going to mention him, but Danny Masterson.
Oh, okay. No, that I'm more in the realm of Chloe Sullivan.
You can separate the people.
Yeah, but with Hulk Hogan, the problem with him is that he has portrayed himself basically as Hulk Hogan in his personal and professional life. He has basically merged the two personalities, and so when he comes out having said racist things, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I see any match of his other than WrestleMania 18, because that is tied strictly to nostalgia. But every other match I've seen since those videos came out, I just cannot vibe with the red and yellow anymore. And it's because I feel like Hulk Hogan is that person in that fucking sex tape. So it doesn't work for me anymore. Danny Masterson, though, that's more of and it really helped me to see that Instagram post where someone photoshopped Stephen Hyde punching Danny Masterson at the barbecue, and it says Stephen Hyde would knock out Danny Masterson, and I was like, you know what, you're fucking right. Absolutely. I can still love it.
Brewster would have as well.
For sure. 100%. So I'm definitely able to separate those two. So moving on anyways from all that. I thought that would be a good conversation. I think we got something out of it.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about Pokemon Journeys. I know you guys haven't seen this. But the first episode came out, and it kind of gives you an idea of Ash's Pikachu's origins. How do you guys feel about that idea?
I feel like they're kind of just milking it, or are like reaching. I don't know, man. Like I'm not as like deep into Pokemon as I used to be.
Right.
So like I don't know. Is that something that like people want?
Me, I would say I've never asked for it. Like I would have never even thought to be like, what was Pikachu up to before Oak got him? But having watched it, do you remember Pikachu's Vacation, the little short that played before Pokemon the first movie?
Yeah, vaguely. I mean, I remember it, but like I don't remember details off the top of my head. No.
Okay. Odle was right though. We all love it.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, it reminded me a lot of that. Although it does shoehorn in this like side story. There's this new character called Go, Goah.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's running around in the new series with Ash.
And it's connected with Pokemon Go, right?
He has a very different style of acquiring Pokemon.
Yeah, he gets like one of everything. Correct? I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't care enough. I don't care enough to know.
I heard about it somewhere. Maybe another podcast that cared more than we do.
We talked about it on the last one, me and Travis did. On the last episode. Anyways, I don't give a shit about Go, and that was the most disturbing thing about the episode. But when you cut all that out, it was this cute little mini Pokemon with other Pokemon story. Because it starts out, as you know, Bob, they did in the second generation introduce baby forms. And so there's a pre-evolution of Pikachu. So we start out with Pikachu as Pichu
or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. And it meets up with a little family of Kangaskhan because it gets separated from its people, and then it kind of just lives amongst the Kangaskhan. It's cute. It's adorable. It's a nice little like. I didn't necessarily want Pikachu's origins, but now that I have them, I'm in.
Yeah.
We get to see the moment he becomes Pikachu. So
yeah, it's kind of one of those things you just really didn't give a shit about, but you're like, hey, I'm going to watch it because I've got to watch it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to at least give it a try.
And it leads into what we did watch, the original Pokemon show, you know? So it's like, it's just a little extra love tacked on to what we already cherished. I don't know. It's really good. It's up on the Pokemon YouTube channel right now. So if you guys want to check it out, or if any of the listeners want to check it out, I suggest it.
Yeah. Awesome.
But on the topic of nostalgia, this is the thing I kept secret from you guys. Do you want me to start out with
drugs? Yes.
Well, too late. Do you want me to start out with the sad news that could lead into the happy news? Or do you want me to start out with the happy news that'll lead into the sad news?
I don't know. Surprise me.
Okay. So, famed author Joanna Cole, with over 250 book credits, many of which for children, and the author of the original Magic School Bus, died at the age of 75. So I can't front and say I know like endless amounts of her work, but I know I thoroughly enjoyed those books as a kid. Scholastic Book Fair, that was always one of the things like on my list. I wanted that. And just like I in my head right now, I can call back images from those books and stories and like all of the possibly inaccurate science now, but still it was fun and we were learning and it was an exciting adventure every time. So she brought.
And then not only that, but once they wind up making the cartoon, it introduced that world to like so many people that probably didn't even bother with books.
Right. And she brought that into our world, into our childhood and our nostalgia. And so like, even though I don't know any of her other work, I am wholly thankful for her life, the 75 years that she was here, and appreciative of that. And I want to say that.
And that was the happy news.
That was the happy news.
You know, knowing Benny, probably.
Yeah.
Luckily,
I got you happy about being nostalgic, right?
Literally every member of the MCU has COVID, and that's cast, crew, like all the way up through Disney. It got bad, dude.
Oh. Recast.
It was a nice 10 years, right? No, that is not the news, and I hope nobody involved with any of those films gets COVID. Because I love them more than I love my own family.
Same.
Anyways, spinning off of that news, though, we did get some good Magic School Bus news, and that is, not only is there a live-action movie in the works, but Elizabeth Banks is going to be playing Miss Frizzle.
Yeah, I saw that. That is great casting. I didn't know I wanted that.
So good. It was like, I would have never came up with it. 100%. Elizabeth Banks, you pulled that out your ass, and it's amazing.
I'd like to watch that.
I'm absolutely in the theaters for that. You know what I really regretted?
Elizabeth Banks pulling a miniature Magic School Bus.
I can see her in the dresses, dude. Dude, if they don't do the dresses, they failed right from Jump Street.
The earrings of like planets and shit.
You know what I really regretted not seeing in theaters? Dora the Explorer, the live action movie. Like I didn't really grow up with it, but I was aware enough of it, and that fucking trailer was charming.
I actually watched quite a bit of Dora because of Aiden, and
I've seen a lot of it because of Abby.
I would assume, and that trailer actually did look kind of fun.
Yeah,
Odle.
It looked like it would be an interesting movie for
Brittany
both.
actually got super excited for it. Like when she saw the theater for it, like when she was in the theater, Brittany's very like during like previews and shit, stuff that she enjoys gets super fucking pumped.
Did you guys ever go watch it? You and Brittany?
No, we didn't. No, but she saw trailers for it and got super excited for it. So yeah.
You know what we should do? We should do a commoner's commentary. First watch through, no preamble.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Of Dora the Explorer. Of Dora the Explorer for sure. Oh no.
A fresh like no one pre-watch it.
No, none of that. None of that bullshit. We just put it on.
So no like look up facts beforehand, nothing. We just go into it completely fresh.
I might go ahead.
Of course you would. Facts. You can't not go into anything without like a list of some kind of facts, bro.
You gotta have something interesting to say. Odle, I think
this is a good idea. We can get Brittany involved in it too if you want.
Yes, I love having Brittany on the podcast for sure. Odle, having seen more of that show than any of us, do you have a favorite adventure? For Dora and the gang. There's a gang, right? Is Dora part of a gang?
Yeah, there's backpack, there's map, she has boots, Diego's her cousin.
Minus the fact that there was one time they had to go to the mountains, and do you see the mountains? Yeah, they're right there in the fucking background.
It's my favorite part of the show.
I learned Spanish from Dora. There's a few things like arriba and abajo is up and down, rojo and azul is red and blue. Like there's little things you can learn. Yeah. Just because Abe used to watch these all the time. Oh, I work with a bunch of like Hispanics now, dude. So like, I know all kinds of words in Spanish, but most of them are cuss words.
I know "Vámonos" because of the song "Come On, Vámonos." Everybody,
let's go.
Yeah, so I know that. I do regret not seeing that in theaters. I'm gonna make that up. I'm gonna make up for that though with Magic School Bus, and Wishbone is getting a fucking live action movie. You guys remember Wishbone?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Although
of course I remember Wish, dude. I'm pretty sure I have like DVDs of Wishbone.
I have some of the books. Do you remember they came out with the books from the show? I still have some of those. I don't know why they needed to like exclaim live action though. The show was live action.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Because if you did it any other form, it's just a dog in a costume. You know what I
I
mean?
guess
Like
I guess if
I
they
think the
don't,
charm was the fact that it was a real dog.
yeah. Oh, I guess if they don't point out live action, I might have assumed CG dog, and that would
Yeah.
fucking ruin it. No
Oh
thanks.
yeah. Yeah, if it's not a live action dog, I don't even want like little like added CG to kind of shine it up and shit
Well,
like the
wasn't
dog
there
itself.
magic
No.
involved in the show? Don't you need CG for that?
No, I mean that's fine. I'm talking about like
Okay.
if Wishbone like jumps and stuff, like no, use like camera tricks and like different angles,
Yeah,
different
yeah.
shots. Don't do like a CG dog like jumping over a cliff or something. You know
You
what I
know
mean?
what? Just cut
I
3
don't
or
want
4 of the episodes together and put that in theaters. I'm good.
that's really all you
You know
need.
what I want a live action of?
Huh.
Cliff, Big Red Dog.
Yes,
Yes.
if you're why like I don't know like that hasn't been done yet and I don't understand
Do
why.
some genetic experiments on dogs and film that shit.
Another one that's
No.
another
Hear me
one
out.
that's
That's what I'm
surprising.
saying. I
Another
want
one that's surprising.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah,
You want what?
you want
A
literally
dark version.
A real dog.
a real gigantic
This is how
red dog.
this is how they can do it, bro. They can do it like they did the Hobbits in Lord of the Rings, bro. Just perspective.
Oh my
Right?
God, yes.
Right?
mean-
Or unethical genetic testing on dogs until we get a gigantic red one.
Well, yeah, the perspective thing is
Or-
like our second or third choice. Like that
Yeah.
was
Or
the obvious first
Yeah.
choice.
So the reason he's red is he's actually inside out. That's one of the
There you go.
kind of like what those Attack on Titan things.
Yeah, dude.
And he's
That's
considered
exactly
a
what I
kaiju.
thought.
So it ties into the Godzilla universe. The next movie is Godzilla versus King Kong versus Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yes. Yes, I want that. Get him in the fucking kaiju verse or whatever the fuck they're calling
God,
it.
why do I now want that more than the Godzilla versus King Kong movie?
I want Godzilla
Because
versus
that's
King
awesome.
Kong versus Pacific Rim versus Clifford the Big Red Dog. And if I don't get that in theaters, I'm never going back.
I agree.
Okay. So, you guys have been fucking around with some Iron Man shit. Who wants to go first? Because I've noticed that Odle kind of cuts out anytime we talk. So if Odle's gonna say something, he's gotta say it.
Go ahead, Odo. I'll let you go first.
So what was it? Couple
You-
of podcasts ago or something, we were talking about the Iron Man VR game. You had the VR, you've played around with it and done some stuff about that. And so I found one on Facebook Marketplace for $130. It was
What?
Damn, you didn't even tell me that part.
Holy shit. Give me one. I'll buy it off you for 2.
right. So my thought about that is it may or may not have been stolen. But as far as I can tell, the VR little console thing doesn't have a serial number, so I think I'm good. But it came with VR.
Is it shaved at a certain spot? Does it look real scratched in one area? Because it may have had one at one point. Okay.
Not that I can tell anyway. But it came with the VR headset, all the cords, 2 of the motion controller things.
Yeah, you need
which I
them.
guess
You
those
need both.
are like $100 a piece.
No shit. I thought they were like $50 a piece.
I don't know. Either way, like it was a fucking steal. Like I had to drive 45 minutes to get it. I didn't fucking care.
Okay, fine. I'll drive to you. That's a 2-hour drive, and I'll give you $230.
And 74
Let me be
cents.
Iron Man game. Do what then?
And 74 cents. Don't think I'm
Yes.
not borrowing that Iron Man game off of you.
Oh no, I fully expect you to. I will probably be like, okay, you borrow Iron Man, I'm gonna play Skyrim.
Even trade.
See,
But
now I need to get a VR now, and then we all 3 start buying games, but not the same game, and we alternate them. and we get them like every other day and shit. Like we're like shared custody parents and shit.
But you're talking about getting an Oculus Rift. You're gonna be that like
That's
have
gonna
the
be
PlayStation.
That's
you
my
have an
son's.
Xbox.
I'm not talking. That's his. That's good. That's his birthday present.
He doesn't need a birthday.
We're getting.
Do we get presents on your son's birthday?
Yeah. If you come to the birthday party.
Sweet. Awesome.
Which, by the way, you guys are invited, and now this is public, so you better come.
Literally everybody is invited now.
All 2 of our fans will be disappointed if you do not.
I don't even know if the one guy who bought our autographed T-shirt still listens. I don't even think he still listens. We lost him, and he has our fucking names on his chest somewhere.
My name, if he got the one with my quote on the back, my name is actually quoted on his back.
I don't think that one was him, but he was the guy who bought our first one. Anyways, Odle.
Oh, that's right. The one that we signed. I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
What are you thinking about Iron Man VR, Odle?
It's actually really cool. I actually haven't had a chance to play the VR much more since the first night that I played it. But I played it for a couple hours. Yeah. I played it for a couple hours, got through like the first full mission. Like you do your little training with the flight controls, the blasters, punching and all that. And
how like your first is it? Almost running into a wall and then just reactionarily throwing your hands up and thrusting yourself away from the wall.
Dude, it's so intuitive, but at the same time, it takes a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've noticed like you can kind of veer this way and that based on how you're looking, how you turn your hands when you're flying and everything else. But it's seriously like when you're flying and you hold your hands up in front of you, you come to a stop like you would if you had thrusters going out of your hands. The blasters are really cool. They have an overheat element to them, so it is like you're shooting too fast at something, you gotta wait for them to cool back down. The flight, like the boost, it kind of gives you that head rush feeling because you're flying along, then you use the boost and everything's like going past your head a lot quicker. All of a sudden, it actually does kind of throw you off balance at times.
Yeah, it does. I love how the HUD is set up too. I mean, it's obviously MCU inspired, but it's so perfect the way they did that. You absolutely feel like you're fucking Iron Man. And that's what you want from a VR game.
Bad. It is fantastic. Like it actually has me excited to look into some other VR games. One of the guys at GameStop was telling me
it doesn't get any better than Iron Man so far. I can tell you. I have most of them. Don't be. Doom is really fun. Doom is a lot of fun.
There's one called like Trover's Adventure or something like that. It's by the makers of Rick and Morty. And I was looking into it. It looks really interesting.
I will say I haven't played that one yet, and it does look like a lot of fun. I want to play that.
So I think just between the two of us, potentially three of us at some point, we can just cycle through games with each other and trade them in for other games and everything else. So I think we've got this on lock. We know what we're going to do. We're going to have shared custody of a PlayStation VR game.
Hell yes.
Absolutely.
Now, moving on from there, and what I think will be the final thing we'll talk about tonight. Bob, you had an Iron Man experience recently, too.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, up here in Columbus, there's actually, leading into this, I don't know if you guys heard, but like Disney has been like kind of like selling some of their movies to the theaters, like movies that have already been released at lower prices. Yeah, at lower prices so that they can play them for cheaper prices to try to like get people coming back in the theater again before pretty much the only thing that for sure is coming out is fucking Tenet. But
and even that got pushed back again.
Yeah. Well, there's a handful of Marvel movies that were coming out. Pixar, uh, at some point or somewhere, Empire Strikes Back is playing, but like,
and it
yeah,
fucking was the top grossing movie for a while. Like,
yeah,
for the first time, I think, since like the 90s when they did the re-releases.
it's
Like,
pretty
holy
awesome.
shit. That's the
Yeah,
world
but
we live in.
there's our drive-in theater up here was playing a double feature of Goonies and Gremlins.
Oh,
And
that's a
there's
great combo.
Oh yeah, and me and Brittany wound up going to a double feature. We only stayed for one movie because we would have been there till like 1:30 in the morning. We had Aiden with us, so it's still a fun experience for one film. But it was a parking lot drive-in. They had this huge screen up in the parking lot. We wound up ordering food from there, plus brought a ton of snacks and stuff with us as well.
Of course.
As you do at a
Had blank, yeah. Had the Nissan Rogue, the SUV, ass in, facing towards the screen, hatch up, which was allowed. We weren't being dicks.
There was a
They had
referee, so he
Yeah,
was throwing calls.
There was actually like 10 referees out there. That was like, if you wanted to be with the ass in facing the screen, you were in a separate section. That way, yeah.
Gotta keep
it was
the COVID
actually
in check.
really very well organized. But we watched Iron Man, the first Iron Man, 2008.
Yep.
I recently watched it, I'd say 2-3 months ago, and praised it then. Like, it's one of those movies that never, like, I can never get tired of.
Aside from its MySpace reference, it's timeless.
Yes.
And that's I can't
that and well, aside from the MySpace reference, also there's a few cell phones. That's free touchscreen. Yeah.
Doing the rewatch of the MCU, getting ready for our big.
I heard about that.
Overview.
That's something you can talk about, Odle.
No, not yet. Not yet. He can't.
Okay.
Like watching some of those earlier movies, like you realize, okay, it is a little bit dated, but at the same time, it's not like it doesn't impact the movie to a point where it takes away from it.
It really has not lost any steam. I did the rewatch.
No, dude, it holds up so fucking well.
In prep for Endgame, I did the rewatch, which it occurs to me we never talked about Endgame on this podcast. We had already stopped last night. Yeah. So I'm guys. I just want to say I'm very excited for our MCU retrospectives, our 3-episode arc. I'm very excited for this. Bob, I really hope you feel prepared enough for it.
Wait a minute. Was I told about this?
Wait a minute. Yes, in the chat.
Did I communicate back about it, or?
I think we mentioned it in our first episode back, 93 or 92. I
don't know.
So to fill Bob in, and I guess any listeners who missed this, we our final episode is going to be an SMP retrospective. We're going to look back on the crazy times we kind of have had doing this podcast, like getting blasted drunk at the B&B during a con, like the interviews we've done, being an official con podcast. We've had some times doing this, so if we're gonna put it to bed, we might as well put it to bed that way. But before that, the 3 episodes before that are going to be a phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 MCU retrospective, like we always talked about while we were doing it early on. So we're finally gonna do it. We're gonna close it out on that and the fucking thing, and I'm thinking about maybe putting the beta episode out. Like
the Suicide Squad episode. The Suicide Squad episode.
I forgot about that.
That episode and the beta episode has been referenced so many times throughout this series. They have to be bonus episodes.
I think we've got
to throw them out.
I think we've got 2 No, we're not making this the last newsworthy episode. I was gonna say I think we've got 2 episodes before we start the MCU retrospective. Maybe we just make it those. No, I'm not ready to put it to bed that way yet. There'll be 100.1 and 100.2. How about that?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like bonus episodes.
Yes.
They don't number them. They're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, they'll just live off to the side. They're over there.
They're like a free comic book day issue, or
There
like
you go.
the cards that came in the fucking packs of like X-Force issue 1 and shit.
So I can assume what you thought about, and you did kind of expand upon it a little bit, what you thought about watching Iron Man again.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm more interested in how is it being at a fucking drive-in, because I haven't been at one since I was a teenager.
Dude, right? I wish I was just a hair more prepared, because like the way they made it sound was like they kind of were gonna like check around in your car to make sure you didn't bring a bunch of shit in. Dude, like these motherfuckers brought chairs. There's people bringing their own snacks and shit. We still spent like $20 some on concessions there because we felt like, let's try their burger and shit.
Yeah.
Plus, like, gotta help them out. Yeah. And
you gotta
I wish we would have brought a few more pillows, blankets, and maybe like a little portable fan because it got a little hot. Maybe a chair too. But dude, I'm so down to start going to theater every weekend.
The drive-in,
they're doing it. They're doing it every weekend. Yeah. They had Superman. They had the Christopher Reeve Superman playing this last weekend.
Yes.
This coming weekend is 89 Batman. The weekend after that is Jurassic Park.
Which the Superman one, because you invited me to come to you guys. Which one is that? Is that this weekend?
No, that already happened.
That already happened?
That happened this last weekend. Yeah.
Fuck, I fucked that up. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you're good, because we wound up going to Iron Man instead. Which, what I was going to say is, I never got to watch Iron Man in theaters because it was literally right whenever I was finishing college and coming back, and like Aiden was about to be born, the whole 9. So like money was like to go to the theater was not available. So it was good to actually watch it on a big screen for the first time.
Yeah.
And knowing where it all leads from this film, like there were so many times that like I looked over at Brittany and like threw out some kind of random fact or be like, hey, you see this? Like yes, this cheeseburger that he's eating was actually like a paid promotional Burger King ad, like promotion in movie. That wind up becoming such a heartwarming like line in Endgame. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
Do you see that bald mustachioed man? He's gonna play a big part in Spider-Man 2.
And that's Ralphie from fucking A Christmas Story.
Yes. Now
that
and he shaved his hand
was what threw me off more than him being in Far From Home.
And the fact that that's a shaved bald spot. That's not a natural bald spot. He shaved his head like that in the first Iron Man movie. And when he reprised his role in Far From Home, he shaved it again.
He's a goddamn pro.
Brilliant.
Dude,
he's a pro.
You gotta love it. You gotta love the continuity.
Okay, but more to your point, Bob, about not having seen it in theaters, I can so vibe on that point. I got up a second ago. Obviously, the listeners couldn't see that, but I went and I got this fucking Portsmouth 8 Cinema newspaper clipping out. Now, you probably can't see it too clearly, but let me read off some of the things on here. Don't mess with the Zohan. What happens in Vegas? The Strangers. The Happening. The Incredible Hulk. That would be the fucking Edward Norton one. Sex in the City. Kung Fu Panda. Iron Man. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Guess which one I saw twice. Guess which 3 I never saw in theaters.
You saw Crystal Skull twice.
That's what I was gonna say, honestly.
Nope. Okay, I saw
not it. You saw Incredible Hulk twice.
Nope. Nope.
Really? Okay.
Nope.
You said what else
I
came
saw
out?
what you were about to say, so I'm not gonna.
The Happening. I saw The Happening twice in fucking theaters, where love saves the day from bullshit plants. But I never saw Iron Man, never saw Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which I like, and never saw The Incredible Hulk, the good Hulk movie. Bob has walked away. Bob has walked away. Now, what? Bob is pacing around his room. He cannot abide this.
Yes.
He cannot have any part of this.
The Bob cannot abide.
Bob cannot abide this action. Now let me explain.
Fucking plants.
I was in a relationship with a woman for a very long time who had terrible taste in movies every time we went to the fucking theaters. She did not want to see Iron Man, and I did not at the time think Iron Man was going to be anything special. So the only thing I was bummed about missing at that time was Indiana Jones. And so it turns out my motivations all around were wrong, and I missed the wrong movie, like, terribly. So I keep this newspaper clipping as a reminder
to remind you.
Never again. Never again.
Well, you might be able to get up here sometime soon and score a viewing of Iron Man.
I hope so.
Or even better, we could score a viewing of fucking 89 Batman.
I was gonna say, since you said 89
none
Batman,
of us ever got to see.
So tempting to go up there and see that this weekend. The only, you know what? It won't even stop me if Vin decides to come over this weekend. I can't think of a better way to fucking spend the weekend than going to Columbus and watching fucking Batman 89.
Yeah, and get him hammered and buy him a prostitute.
Absolutely. We'll take him to the barcade. There's video games and beer. What can go wrong?
That's a great idea. And they sell chicken and waffles.
I mean, he's 14. He can handle a beer.
He knows his way around some beers.
Well, guys, it was great having this podcast before we got canceled. We wanted to make it to 100, but I'm pretty sure that did us in. So.
Yeah.
Bob, anything else you want to say about your experience at the drive-in?
No, it was fun, man. Like, if anybody's listening to this anywhere that like is still offering or now offering drive-in, absolutely go. It's a fun experience. If you've never been to a drive-in before, like, holy shit, your world's about to be rocked. If you have been to one, it's probably been a while. So go check one out. One thing I did realize is, like, if and when this shit goes back to the normal before, all these places now have like sweet like rigs on the side of the building where they can do drive-in.
I was gonna bring up, I noticed in I think it was your Snapchat pictures, or maybe you just posted them to the group chat. I noticed it was on the side of the building. I can't believe more theaters are not doing this.
And it's like bolted, like it's steel framed, and it's a real nice screen on there, and they have a projector in the back of the lot that they have sitting up on top of a fucking truck, just a pickup truck.
You could even do new releases that way. Like, why is this not happening?
See, I think that's going to be a positive once we come out of here, because now they have a little bit of money invested in these things. Why not use them? And then they're going to see, like, shit, people are going to show up, because there's a decent amount of people there.
Yeah,
like,
I noticed from
and they still have it, like, they had it spaced out so that they could, still stay under regulations and shit. So yeah, it was a fun experience. If you have the opportunity to go, then go.
I really think I'm going to come up this weekend. I really want to see this. I want to see it in person. I want to hang out with you. I want to see Batman 89. Bob, Odle, you need to just quit your job. Come up to Columbus, watch Batman 89. You've got $300 to drop on trades on a whim, only to make $5 profit on each. I think you could afford to quit your job.
Yep. You can, if you just sold 3 omnibus a week, you could survive for probably a lifetime. with what you
Pretty
have
much. I mean,
in your personal collection and in your flip collection.
At least for a little while.
You really could for a while. You have to shop at Aldi, you know, maybe cut back
and statues. Yeah. Oh, dude, don't knock Aldi. Aldi is fucking amazing.
No. That's where I shop. I'm doing. That's where I get all my food. So
yes, I love Aldi.
All right, and on that note, on Aldi, we're gonna end this nerd news.
Sorta My Podcast now sponsored by Aldi.
Fuck, if only.
Dude, I would. The only payment we get is quarters for cards.
We've got that soap ad at the top, and all we got was like some free soap, and that's cool though. That's cool soap.
Yeah.
Odle didn't get any. He has no idea what we're talking about.
Odle doesn't use soap. He lathers himself in beard oil. His whole body. That's all he needs.
I do.
He stays sleek and slippery and smells good.
We're in the pocket of big soap. All right, guys.
Beard oil that smells like orange creamsicles.
Well, see if you can get him to be a sponsor, Odle. Stop just talking about it and do something.
Yeah, don't talk about it and be about it, Alpha.
I mean, the soap sponsorship kind of landed in our lap, and we're taking it
completely landed in our lap.
And we're taking it further than we were even remotely asked to.
I take full responsibility for getting that sponsorship, considering that there's relation there.
There you go. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us on this episode of Sorta My Podcast. As always, you can follow all the links down below to follow our social media, whether it is Subject to Change Entertainment on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, if you want to. I never keep up with it. Our personal social medias are down there too, aside from Facebook. Fuck off. Guys, of course, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, if you're on YouTube, and leave a comment or review. Those are the best way to get this out in front of people. Leaving a comment and review and sharing. Guys, my name is Vincent Herman. Whoa, what?
And if you like and share, it makes Vincent's day so much better. You put a smile on that bearded little face.
It actually does. Okay, like we're not all bearded. It really does. I do love seeing those come up. I love when I'm actually able to respond to them too. Sometimes we get like a comment and I'm like, I don't know what to fucking say to you. Come on.
Thumbs up.
Awesome. Thank you for commenting. That's what you get. And that's not nothing. So anyways, guys, my name is Vincent Herman, Vin The Human.
I'm Bob Collins, Boba Fett, featuring Creaky Chair.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
And cue that creaky outro music.
Creak, 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 creaky creak, 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 creaky creak, 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 creaky creak, 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 creak.